If you're interested in mastering your emotions, welcome to my series answering the 10 most frequently asked questions about healthy emotions. Today, we're going to talk about question number 2. What are some healthy ways that I can cope with emotional triggers? As always, if you want to keep up with this series, I'd really appreciate it if you like this video and subscribed. That way, you'll get notified whenever new videos are uploaded, and you can continue building emotional awareness and resilience with each new episode. As an emotional freedom coach, I see this all the time. People notice their triggers coming, but when they hit, they don't know how to cope. You start to feel your chest tighten, your thoughts spiral, and before you realize it, you're reacting in ways that you didn't intend. And then you wonder, why did I do that? But here's the thing. That moment, as uncomfortable as it feels, is exactly where change can start. Every time that you catch yourself getting triggered, even just noticing what's happening, you're practicing a skill most people never develop. That's how to begin taking control of your emotions instead of letting them control you. When you don't have healthy coping strategies, emotional triggers can quietly take over your day. They can influence your reactions, your decisions, and even your relationships without you even realizing it. And over time, this can lead to patterns of stress, misunderstanding, and regret. But when you learn to cope effectively, you gain choice and clarity. You can pause, reflect, and respond instead of reacting impulsively. That shift not only improves your emotional health, but also strengthens your relationships, confidence, and overall sense of well being. So, what are some healthy ways that I can cope with emotional triggers? Well, one of the healthiest ways to cope with emotional triggers starts with the body. And when something triggers you, your nervous system reacts automatically, often before you realize what you're feeling. And that's why grounding yourself physically can be so effective. Simple actions like pressing your feet into the floor, noticing the support of the chair beneath you, or tuning into your senses helps signal safety to your body. And this reminds your nervous system that the threat isn't happening right now. And creating this sense of safety makes it easier to stay present instead of reacting on autopilot. And practicing grounding regularly strengthens your nervous system's ability to self regulate and reduce the intensity of future triggers. Grounding also helps you notice subtle cues from your body that often go overlooked when emotions spike, such as tight shoulders, shallow breathing, or a racing heartbeat. By paying attention to these early signals gives you more control over your reactions and allows you to respond intentionally. Even noticing the texture of an object in your hand, listening carefully to the surrounding sounds, or feeling the rhythm of your breath can anchor you to the present moment. Breathing deeply and intentionally is another highly effective tool. So, inhaling through your nose, pausing briefly, and exhaling gently through your mouth provides a small window between the trigger and your response. And so, this practice increases oxygen flow to the brain, helping you think more clearly when emotions spike. So, pairing breath with a moment of pause allows your body and mind to sync, reducing the automatic fight or flight reaction. You can even place a hand on your belly and feel it rise and fall, which reinforces mindfulness and presence. Breathing deeply signals to your body that it's safe to relax, lowering tension, even and stress hormones. And with consistent practice, intentional breathing becomes a reliable strategy for managing strong emotions without reacting impulsively. Once your body is calm, naming the emotions provides clarity. So instead of asking, why am I so upset? Try labeling it, I feel frustration, or I feel sadness right now. Labeling helps your brain process the emotion rather than being overwhelmed by it. And it allows you to recognize layered emotions such as anger masked as sadness or anxiety masked as fear. Naming emotions reduces the risk of reacting impulsively and gives you permission to fully experience your emotions without suppressing them. And over time, this builds emotional insight and strengthens the connection between your body and mind, enabling more thoughtful responses in triggering situations. Journaling is a practical and reflective way to cope. So, writing slows racing thoughts and allows you to release emotions safely. So, by reflecting on what happened and how your body responded and what thoughts came up, it helps you make sense of what you're feeling. Questions that you might consider include: what situation triggered me? How did my body react? What patterns or assumptions influenced my response? And what could I do differently next time? Now, to be clear, journaling is not about fixing emotions. It's about understanding them and gaining clarity on your patterns. So, practicing this regularly allows you to notice early warning signs and respond before reactions escalate. Pausing before responding is critical for managing your triggers. When emotions spike, there's often an urge to react immediately, to defend, explain, or withdraw. So, taking a moment allows your body and your mind to settle and provide space to respond thoughtfully. Even saying, I need a moment, creates a boundary that protects your relationships and supports emotional regulation. And over time, pausing becomes a natural habit that prevents impulsive reactions and fosters calm, measured responses. This pause also helps you recognize when a reaction is connected to unresolved past experiences rather than the present moment, allowing you to act intentionally. The way that you talk to yourself matters as much as any other coping strategy. So, self criticism amplifies emotional intensity, whereas self compassion soothes the nervous system and reinforces resilience, replacing thoughts like, why did I overreact, with, this is difficult and I can handle it. Recognizing these needs transforms triggering moments into opportunities for self care and proactive communication. So, this insight allows you to respond more intentionally and reduce repeated patterns of emotional escalation, enhancing both self awareness and confidence. Now, physical movement is a powerful method to release blocked emotional energy because emotions are energy in motion. And when emotions are suppressed, it often manifests as tension, restlessness, or heaviness in the body. Movement provides a natural release, helping you regain clarity and calm. So, even brief periods of intentional movement paired with mindfulness strengthens emotional regulation and reduces the likelihood of intense reactions. And over time, this practice teaches your body that emotional energy can be expressed safely and managed proactively. Movement also releases endorphins, which improve mood and cognitive clarity, supporting thoughtful responses instead of reactive ones. One way that I've found that really helps when dealing with triggers is noticing the difference between urgency and importance. So, when something sets you off, it can feel like you have to do something about it right this second. And even when that's not true at all, that pressure just makes the emotion louder and your reaction more automatic. So instead, try taking a pause and asking yourself, does this really need my attention right now? Giving yourself that little space can completely change how intense the moment feels. You might even notice that a lot of what feels urgent is actually minor or even temporary, and letting it sit for a bit doesn't make things worse. This practice also teaches patience with yourself and others because not every situation requires a quick fix. It can feel a little uncomfortable at first to delay action, but that discomfort is actually part of building emotional control. Eventually, this approach becomes second nature, and you realize that you don't have to react immediately to every little trigger. Another thing that's helped me is learning to experience emotions without letting them define me. So, when you're triggered, it's easy to slip from thinking, I feel angry to I am angry. And suddenly it feels like that emotion owns you. A healthier approach is to remind yourself that emotions are temporary. They're energy passing through you, not permanent labels. Doing this consistently makes triggers feel less like personal failures and more like signals that you can actually work with. It also creates a sense of freedom. And over time, you begin to notice patterns in your emotions without judgment, which makes coping with triggers faster and easier. This perspective allows you to engage with life more fully because you're not carrying the weight of every strong emotion as part of your identity. And when others react strongly too, you're able to empathize without losing yourself in their intensity. The more that you practice this, the more your emotions become guides instead of dictators, helping you respond intentionally rather than automatically. To support you in building this awareness, I've created a free resource called the Emotional Breakthrough Guide, and I'd love to share it with you. Inside the Emotional Breakthrough Guide, you'll find step by step exercises that help you notice your personal triggers, reflect on emotional patterns behind them, and begin responding in healthier ways. These exercises are designed to fit into your everyday life, so you can start building emotional awareness and control immediately. You can get your free Emotional Breakthrough Guide right now. To do that, you'll want to click the link in the description below and sign up. And then once you do, you'll receive instant access to the guide so you can begin using it immediately. You can move through it at your own pace and start noticing small but meaningful changes in how you cope emotionally. If this video helped you, I'd really appreciate it if you liked this video, subscribed to the channel, and turned on notifications. That way, you'll be notified of the next video in this 23-part series on healthy emotions, where we continue building the awareness and skills you need for long-term emotional health. I'll see you in the next video.